Hello guys, here I am back with another video. I am on the Porsche website and I'm gonna explain why. So if you guys watched the how I became a car guy video, if you haven't, go watch that. But I talked about how I got into cars and how I bought my BMW, how I really like BMWs now. And I also am going to buy at some point in my life a Scat Pack Challenger, but also I never really got into supercars. The reason for that is kind of how I got into cars, which I explained in the last video, was when I had the idea of buying a car, and if I was gonna buy a car to replace my Honda Fit, what would I, buy? And just starting to look at options there, as opposed to, being super enamored from a young age with like supercars and top performance and all that. So really how I got into cars was with cars that were, more obtainable, like BMW, Audi at the most, and cars like that, because they're more obtainable. It's right here. Never like Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So ultimately, my dream car, it's really just a Scat Pack Challenger, because that's something that I know more about, that I've actually driven, and that in the future, it's not impossible for me to obtain. But one day I got to thinking about it, and I was like, if I was gonna pick a dream car over 100 grand, what would I choose? I decided on Porsche. Porsche kind of like stood out to me as like, oh, they're different than other people, and I kind of like what they're doing in their cars, and their 911s. What 911 would I choose? You have the Carrera trims. The 911s, as you get more expensive, go either in one of two directions. You either get better acceleration with the turbo trims, or you get better and enhanced track performance with the GT trims. And so I thought about it, and it's like, well, I really like horsepower, I really like acceleration, but I also kind of like having a big wing on the back. And I think what sealed the decision for me, because I was like, do I go like Turbo S, or do I go like GT3 RS? Which do I go? And I really like manual transmission, so that kind of swayed the decision for me. And not that I'm saying that I wouldn't really enjoy a DCT, but then I'd be like, what if I had this in a manual? What is it like as a manual? I could, take a step back, just get a GT3 manual. I might go for that. Between the touring and the non-touring, a wing is cool. So a wing, sure. I mean, obviously I'd be happy with any 911 you throw at me, but just, I don't know, out of the new lineup, manual 911 GT3. Sure, let's do it. So then I've been to the website. I've looked at the options, and I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I built myself a 911 GT3, like choosing all the options, customizing it how I like it, and see how that is. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. We are going to be building, as if we're about to order it off of Porsche website, build a new 2026 Porsche 911 GT3. Let's get in here and get this GT3 built. Hell yeah. If I was gonna buy a $100,000 car, it'd be this right here. And boy, it looks cool, man. It looks cool. So basically what I'm trying to go for, I am not trying to build the fastest, most like track-oriented, lightest weight version of this car possible. I still want it to be comfortable for a driver or a passenger, and I don't necessarily want it to be, fully decked out as possible. But I'm still going to put in all my preferences as if I have infinite money to spend on this car, but I'm not going to choose every option. If there's an option that I don't think I'll appreciate, or I don't prefer, or maybe an option that's just cool, but I'm like never gonna use it or see it at all on the car, then I'm just not going to choose that option. Even if I have infinite money, I can fully option it if I want to. Do I really want this, and will I appreciate it? I'm gonna get that option, price be damned. Let's go. So we're gonna start out, we're at $224,750. That is, an expensive car, but we're gonna make it even more expensive. Oh boy, yes we are. First, we gotta choose the paint color. Okay, let's be honest. I think this car looks good in any color. I'm gonna go with this gentian blue metallic. Just this nice dark blue. I think it looks really good in that color. Oh boy. I think it looks really good in that color. I really like blue, and I think if I was gonna choose supercar, sure, get it in my favorite color. If you couldn't tell, that's my favorite color. Like, look at that. Looks good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Get it in that blue. Get it in that nice blue color. All right. And I think it's crazy, dude. It's crazy how they find ways to charge people for this. If you choose one of 190 of their pre-picked options that are not these colors, then you have to pay $16,000. And if you walk in with like a piece of paint or something and say, I want my car this color, then that's $38,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like $38,000 is like almost less than the amount of options I'm about to add to this car. I think 38,000 is more than all the rest of the options I'm going to add to this car. It's crazy. So we got wheels, 20s in the front, 21s in the back. Now there's a couple options here. I can either go with the forged alloy wheels or the forged magnesium wheels, which save how much weight? 19 pounds lighter. Now, forged magnesium wheels are cool, but honestly, I don't really care about saving 19 pounds of weight. As I said, this is not going to be like a dedicated, super track optimized version of this car. And so I really don't care about saving 19 pounds of weight at the wheels. It really doesn't matter to me. These forged alloy wheels are good enough for me. However, I really do like the look of the gold, but I don't need the magnesium wheels to do that because right here, I can choose my wheel color and I can make these wheels gold. And I do like that look. I do like this blue and gold look. I was really considering between that and black. I was like, do I get this? Do I get the wheels in black or gold? Gold on blue. It looks like fancy, but it looks like flashy and like it stands out. Whereas black looks like clean and like refined. I really like black wheels. Some people don't like black wheels. I like black wheels. I want to put black wheels on my BMW. If I buy a scat pack, I want black wheels on it. But then I said to myself, well, if I already have black wheels on a BMW and a Challenger, do I really also want black wheels on my supercar? No, if it's my one supercar that I have, am I really just gonna not have any other wheel color in any of my cars other than black? I gotta stand out, right? I gotta make this car like not just the same as all the others. I wouldn't choose this like flashy, really standoutish color on any car that's not a supercar or like supercar adjacent. What am I gonna have? 3 black wheeled cars? So here we go. Winter wheel and tire sets. You can get snow chains. No, I'm not driving this car in the winter. I'm not driving this car in the snow. So now let's move on to the interior. This option is basically, you know, Race Tex is like a suede type thing. It's like soft. Yeah, it's suede. Oh, wait, you know what suede? Wait, you know what I'm talking about. Not everything is Race Tex in the car. I think some things might even be leather, but I think there's some plastic in here, I think. And then a lot of these things with the stitching in here are Race Tex. These might be leather, might be not, I forget. But like a lot of these panels and stuff are plastic, and then some of like this armrest is Race Tex, steering wheel Race Tex. This is Race Tex, you know, stuff like that. So it's a mixture of like plastic and Race Tex. This is probably, actually, I don't know what this is. Yeah, that's not Race Tex. That's like plastic or something. Yeah, that doesn't look like Race Tex on the, on here and here or here. So basically what I want to do with this car is I want to make everything as leather as possible. I like leather more. It cleans better. So I'm going to option in basically as much leather as possible on this car because I think it's easier to clean, especially down low where your feet might touch it. And I don't want marks like that and stains on the Race Tex. We have a couple options for here. We have a leather and Race Tex interior packages. So this is like, it replaces some of the Race Tex and some of the plastic with leather, but not all of it. And you have your choice of stitching. And I want to match kind of the outside with the stitching. All the stitching is now shark blue, and we have some mixture of leather in here now. Now the seats, I was really kind of going back and forth between bucket seats and 18-way seats. I think between the 4-way and the 18-way, I'd want to get the 18-way because having manual adjustment and like, I don't care about my seats. I don't think don't need to have very many options, but I think it might be nice for a passenger to have more options for the seats. Also, you know, having to like manually move myself forward and back in that car feels like lame. If I'm gonna have a sports seat, I guess I'd rather have an 18-way. But I was also considering bucket seats because I'm like, they're lighter and they might be more convenient designed for racing. What I really don't know is if because people say they're like uncomfortable for trips, and if they're like uncomfortable where I wouldn't want to sit in them for an extended period of time, then I don't think I'd want them. But I've never sat in a bucket seat, so I don't know how comfortable they are or not. If the bucket seats are comfortable enough to sit in, then I'd probably go with the bucket seats. Otherwise, for more comfortability and more, you know, adjustability of the seating position, I'm kind of leaning toward the 18-way seats, even if the bucket seats are tolerable. Now we have the packages. This is the Weissach package, and it basically does a lot of stuff. I'm not going to include the Weissach package because I don't really need all this. I don't need all this. It's basically like a package that options in a bunch of stuff to make it as light as possible. It's all optimized for speed around a track and lightweight, and I don't need it. I'm going to end up adding some carbon to it because I think carbon looks good and I think I'd be happy. I do really like the clean look of just paint, but I think if I'm going to buy a high-end car like this, optioning some carbon fiber I think will add to the luxury of it. This is the same with wheels. Like if I wanted like a really like clean, fresh looking, smooth looking build, which I really value on like a lower end car, you know, where it's all one color, the wheels are black and there's no like carbon on it. Like that's maybe a look I'd want for a BMW like M car that's like blue or black and black wheels with like no carbon, maybe interior carbon, but like maybe no carbon on the outside, let's say. So exterior, if you have the Weissach package, then you can tell them to paint over the carbon fiber stripe. They'll be made of carbon, but there'll be no exposed carbon on those painted sections. Front fascia, air blades, and exterior. I don't think it adds that much to the car. Yeah, it's a little bit more in the exterior color, but like you're just making a little bit more of it color versus black. It's something I'm not gonna care about. It's something I know I wouldn't care about. Now this front intake grill with 911 logo, I think that would be a really cool touch to someone that looked closely at the front, and I think I'd definitely appreciate having that. This, I don't care about this, just a little extra more paint. But this, I think this is one of the carbon fiber pieces I'm gonna add. I think carbon top mirrors, I think is a nice touch. These triangle window trims, carbon is cool, but $500 for a little tiny triangle that I'm never, ever gonna look at or notice ever, that nobody else is ever gonna notice ever, is absolutely not worth it. This, however, this is an aluminum fuel cap. I think that's a cool touch, and I'm actually gonna see it every time I fill up the car. Sure, why not? Carbon fiber roof. Let's option in a carbon fiber roof. Let's do it. I don't think it detracts from the clean look of the car that much. And I think carbon roof with carbon mirrors, I think is a nice touch. And I think those are all the exterior carbon options. And so I think I'd be happy with that. Decals and logos, you have whatever this is. I don't care about any of these decals, whatever. Now this, I think having the model on the little side of the door, not only on the back, but the little side of the door, I think that's cool. That's something I'm gonna look at. I think that's something I'm gonna appreciate, just in black, simple black, not that high contrast. I don't really want that. I don't really want that. Just a little number at the bottom, nothing flashy. Lights, these are, I guess, lights that do more. I really don't care. They're headlights, just turn on and off. And I do like the round look better than this line look. I do like the nice round look much better, so we'll keep that. Tail lights, that's just a white tail light. It just turns this tail light to white, and some people like a white tail light. I like the red tail light, especially since these reflective strips and this stay red. So if one of them's gonna be red, let's make all of them red. Why would I want that in white? I guess, whatever. Anyway, puddle light, I'm never really gonna care about that. So now the interior, I would like to get the extended dashboard in leather, from which I do have to option in the chrono package. We're going to talk about the chrono package a little later once we get down to it, but we're going to, for now, because to get this extended dashboard leather, we're going to option in just the regular chrono package. Now, deviated stitching interior package. I already chose the pre-selected option, leather and race tex interior with shark blue stitching. With this deviated stitching interior package, that's basically like, instead of getting like silver or red or blue, you can choose your color of stitching. I kind of want the stitching to match the exterior color as close as possible. With the deviated stitching color options, there's not really an option that like perfectly matches the exterior color, which I'm fine with, but there's no reason to get it, because the only reason I'd get it is if I wanted a color, like an extra color that like I really was leaning towards. And there isn't really one of those colors, so I'm fine with just having the shark blue stitching package and just getting rid of the deviated stitching. And this is basically deviated stitching plus deviated leather seat accents in whatever color you want. I think this looks too flashy, especially shark blue is like a lighter blue. So then you can have interior trim, black brushed aluminum trim in black. You can option that on for free. Or for free, you can get the inlays in exterior color. I really like the exterior color look. You get the exterior color trim here, here, and there. I think that looks really good. Now, the carbon fiber I don't really care about. And here we go, extended leather package. Now that, obviously, I said I'm gonna option in as much leather as possible, and we're gonna choose the stitching to be shark blue to match the other one. And now more of the car is leather. This is Inner door sill guards, fuse box covers, interior mirror panel. Now, I also want the extended door panel in leather, but now we scroll down here and now we have a package that includes the extended dashboard and door panel package in leather, which is this one up here that I chose, plus this one here, and it's just the same price as both of them combined. So let's just choose this option because it's the same thing. Seat belts and seat design. Colored seat belts, sure. Let's go for the colored seat belts. I think it's a nice look. Shark blue to match the stitching. I think that looks good. No race text. Seat consoles in leather. Yes, sir. Especially since that's where your shoes go. So imagine a little bit of dirt rubs off on these seat consoles as you're getting in and out of the car, as you're doing something. Like, they're lower down so it's closer to the dirt. I definitely want that in leather so it's more cleanable. Now these, you can either get them leather inlay or exterior color inlay. There's no back seats. I'm never gonna look at that. I'm never gonna see that, so obviously I'm not gonna add it. I'm not gonna be back there looking at the back of the seats. That doesn't make sense why I would add this in. Now, GT Sports steering wheel in leather for free. Yes, sir. Let's get that in leather. Yes, looks good. Here we can see really the color of the deviated stitching. We have the shark blue, and then we have the exterior color inlay. Here we have the leather steering wheel. Hell yeah. And we're gonna add leather on the steering column casing. There we go, look at that. The leather. Air vent surround in leather and air vent slats painted exterior color. Sure, it's a nice little touch. I'm gonna see it. Let's add the stitching in shark blue as always. There it is, exterior color. You can't option leather on this center console here, but you can keep it race text and put a little design in it. And I think I will be putting the Porsche crest in it. I think that's a nice little touch. That's definitely something I'm gonna appreciate. Leather, yes sir, sun visors in leather. You know it. Pedals and footrest in aluminum. Absolutely. What are they in here? I don't know what they are, but aluminum with rubber grippies. Absolutely. In fact, I think I have aluminum pedals with little rubber grippies from Dynan in my car. I like them. Door sill guards in black brushed aluminum, illuminated. Absolutely. I think that's a nice little touch. That's something I'm gonna see. I look at mine all the time too in my car, and mostly when I'm cleaning it, but I really appreciate that like little black, it's plastic in my car, but a little black little design with, I appreciate it. Matte carbon fiber, nah. Storage net and passenger footwell. It's free, so why the fuck not? I think it's cool that you can option in a fire extinguisher. And then this is just, if you picked the deviated stitching package or the deviated stitching plus deviated leather seat accent package, you can choose the colors for those. Let's move on to the keys. You can have the vehicle keys painted or the vehicle keys in leather, or you can have like more of them with like different designs and stuff. I'm gonna choose this option. I want my keys to match the colors of my car. So yes, we're gonna choose gentian blue metallic for the key, all leather, ouch, leather, 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 leather. But the decorative stitching is going to be, where is it? Shark blue, just like the interior. Yes, sir. Personalized floor mats, no. No bespoke floor mats. No carbon fiber floor mats, no sir. Owner's manual wallet, no, no, no. Technology. Here we go. Front axle lift system. I think that is a really, really cool feature in low cars to be able to just like, oh, I can't drive over this. Just kidding. I'm gonna lift up the front end to be able to drive over this. I think that is so helpful going up driveways, doing anything. I'm absolutely gonna option that in. Don't even have to think about it. Now we have chrono package with Porsche design GT clock and chrono package. I think having a built-in stopwatch is fine. Even if it's not as functional or convenient as maybe third-party lap timers and stopwatches and trackers, I think it's nice to have one built into the car, especially because I don't see myself using that option that often where I would want a third-party one, but just put that on there to add like a nice little touch and an option if I happen to want to use it. And it looks cool. And then you could pay like a bunch of money for like a GT design clock, and that I really don't care. The GT design clock is a lot more elaborate. I don't care. A nice, clean, simple look is good enough for me. Now you can choose different color brake calipers. I'm fine with the red ones. I think they look good. You also can choose ceramic composite brakes. I think I'm good. I don't need ceramic composite brakes necessarily. This extended range fuel tank, I think is a good convenience. I would like that. I'm definitely gonna choose the manual transmission. So I think in the interior, will it give me 3 pedals? Yes, it will. There we go. 3 pedals. That's what I want. And then you can choose the color for the stopwatch. Don't really care. Assistance systems, park assist rear. Now this is parking proximity sensors on the rear with audible proximity warning and distance graphic on the PCM. It already comes with a reversing camera. I think I'm going to option it in. On my BMW, it has a backup camera, but also when you're backing up, when it's in that mode and the parking sensors are enabled, it has those parking sensors. It has front and rear radar that will give you an audio warning when you're close to something, and a little diagram next to the backup camera that'll actually give you a visual of where something is and how close it is to your car and what it's seeing. I found it convenient to have that as I'm like parking in conjunction with the backup camera on like a little longer car. You know, I parked and backed in and parallel parked my Honda Fit for 5 years with no backup camera, no sensors, nothing. But that was a shorter car, less expensive car, not as nice of a car, and you could just basically look back, see out the rear windshield, and that was exactly how long your car is. Whereas like these cars, especially in this 911, it's even harder to see out the back. So having a backup camera and parking sensors, it's just a nice little touch. It just shows that your car is like luxury, and if it makes the difference between me hitting something or not, then I'm gonna option it in. Sure. I don't like a lot of technology on the car, like a whole lot of luxury and technology features on a car, but this is one of those features where it's like, sure. It doesn't tickle that part of my brain that's like, ooh, too much luxury, ooh, too fancy, too many options that I'm never ever gonna use ever. I don't want to pay for that. So we have standard equipment, home link, we have an ionizer, don't really care. If I'm driving around a car like this, I'm absolutely gonna have a dash cam. And if I'm gonna have a dash cam, I might as well have a dash cam integrated into the camera rather than running ugly wires up and pulling panels off and stuff that I did in my BMW. And this is just the preparations. This is like running the wires up to the front and back and doing all that for your Porsche dash cam. This isn't the actual dash cam. You have to buy that later. Ambient lighting. Now, ambient lighting, I think I looked at it and it was like, okay. Yeah, it's like fine. Like ambient lighting there. I honestly don't think it's for me. I think that just the clean look with just the colors that are present is fine. I think it's funny that they have a smoking package, that somebody would actually smoke a cigarette in their 911 GT3. I think that's crazy, but that's just me. Bose surround sound system. I don't really care about the sound that much. I don't think I would be using it at all, and so I don't consider it necessary. I stopped listening to music while driving a long time ago. I like really just being absorbed in the driving experience and the engine and, you know, driving a manual, and for how much use it's gonna get, which is practically none, it's not worth it. Even though I am a fan of good audio quality. And then I don't listen to the radio at all. I've never ever listened to the radio ever. So we're gonna delete this whatever antenna for free, absolutely. And there's more. So you have all of these, blah, 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 garage mats, door edge protection, don't really care. Now this, all-weather floor mats. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, no carpet. My BMW, when I bought it, it had like both types of floor mats in there. It had carpet ones and leather ones. I like took the leather ones, went to my dad, is like, here, you can keep them someplace if you want. I don't know, I'm never gonna use them. I've never put them in the car. I just put the rubber mats in, and I've just still run the rubber mats. It's so easy. You just take them out, you clean them, and now they look brand new, and you put them back in. Dude, I'm never not having rubber mats in a car I own. I'm never not having rubber mats. It's like ridiculous. So I saw this option. I was like, oh my God, hell yeah. All-weather floor mats, absolutely. Not even close. Porsche dash cam. Yes, sir. We're gonna put this dash cam in. Absolutely. And then you have like a bunch of these options, and that's pretty much it. And then you just have like Porsche delivery experience, which is basically, it's just like you can have this delivered to some things or like pay for some sort of varying experiences that you get offered to you as you pick up your Porsche. I really don't care. Just ship it to my closest Porsche dealership. Let me pick it up. And so this is our Porsche 911 GT3. Let's go through the pictures once more. This is the car. This is the car. If I was rich and an idiot and I didn't care about money, this is the car I'd buy. And those are the options I'd pick. It looks great. It looks amazing. I love it. But I'm never ever gonna ever buy it, ever. I think it looks great. I think it looks clean, sharp. It looks even, you know, a little, you know, fancy on the outside with the carbon and the wheels. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would be super happy with this car. Not saying I wouldn't be happy with any other car, but this is my taste. It comes out to $260,006, $34,000 in options, $556 in accessories. And yep, this is all the options. Gentian blue metallic color, regular forged alloy wheels, painted in California gold, leather race tex interior in black with shark blue stitching, 18-way sports seats, 911 logo on the front grille, carbon fiber mirrors, aluminum fuel cap, carbon fiber roof, model designation on the doors, interior trim and exterior color, extended leather package with shark blue stitching, extended leather dashboard and door panel package in leather with shark blue stitching, seat belts in shark blue, seat consoles in leather with shark blue stitching, a GT sports steering wheel in leather, steering column casing in leather, air vent surround leather and air vent slats painted in exterior color with shark blue stitching, center console lid race text with the Porsche crest, leather sun visors, aluminum pedals and footrests, black brushed aluminum and illuminated door sill guards, passenger footwells storage net, gentian blue, painted keys with black leather pouch with shark blue stitching, front axle lift system chrono package, 22.1 gallon fuel tank, manual transmission, audible rear parking sensor, home link, Porsche dash cam wiring, no Sirius XM antenna, rubber floor mats, Porsche dash cam front and rear, and this first year 10,000 mile warranty and maintenance. And there it is. We're gonna download this. Yes, sir, we are. I'm just gonna save it just to look at it because this 2026 911 GT3, at some point, it's not gonna become available anymore. So I just wanna make this video and download this PDF to just remember what my favorite over $100,000 car is, favorite little Porsche is, and what I would have bought if, gun to my head, spend $100,000 at least on a car I would buy at this moment right now. Yes, sir, these are all the options. So now I'll always remember this as this cool car that I'll never buy, but I think that's cool. Now, if we scroll down, there's one more thing I want to do. The chronograph for the 911 GT3. Now, if I'm going to buy a supercar, then I'd definitely be buying a watch to go along with it. I think that's really cool. High-end watch, go with your high-end car. I'd definitely go for that. So let's build our little timepiece, if you will. Yes, I think so. So here we have our Porsche watch. Looks pretty nice, looks pretty nice. $10,000, that is quite pricey for a watch, and you'd never ever catch me spending that much on a watch unless it was specifically made to go with a high-end car that I was also buying, which you would also never catch me spending money on. So if I'm spending money on one, I might as well spend money on the other, you know what I'm saying? So let's look at some of the options here. You get a few different options. You could choose this like silver titanium, or you can choose black titanium. Now, you know me, I like the clean black look. Oh my God, it looks so good. Love this. Definitely black. Now you can have a tachometer. I don't know how you pronounce that. A timer or a pulsometer. For pulsations, I'm gonna choose a tachometer. Timer seems pretty basic. It has a stopwatch option built into it already. Plus the whole thing is time, so you can just time. You don't need a timer bezel. So then I can have a couple different options of hands. You can have black with a painted red tip. You can have this white in red. It matches the other hands and I think it looks good. Or you can have these GT hands in yellow. Now I think if it was me, I honestly like the black hands the best with the red tip. Now this dial, you can have this GT dial with the honeycomb structure, or you can have this carbon fiber dial with yellow details. I like the honeycomb dial better. I like the honeycomb dial better, if I'm gonna be honest. And then here we have, you can have the colored ring on your dial, whatever color you want, which of course, I'm gonna choose gentian blue metallic, the outside color of my car, so it matches. Hell yeah. Strap material. I think I'm gonna choose a black titanium strap. Looks, you know, high end, looks very clean. It matches the rest of the watch. And then over here on the back of the watch, you can see the winding rotor is actually the design of the wheel that comes with the 911 GT3, and it says GT3 right here. And I think that is so cool. And not only does it have the design of the wheel, you can choose your color and you can have the wheel match the color of the real wheels that are on your 911 GT3. Oh my God. That is so cool. That is a really cool touch. Put that gold on there. Keep it on there. Flip over the watch. Recognize this? This is the color of my wheels. Look familiar? Anyway, I just think that's cool. Very satisfying, very cool. Oh, look at that. Look at that. PD, Porsche design. Would you like to have your VIN number engraved on the case back? Yes, sir. And you also have a 911 GT3 992.2 plaque lettering engraved on a plaque. What is this? Oh, you get you get a plaque with your watch. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Would you like to have your VIN engraved on the plaque? Yes, sir. And here's the WAP number. The wet ass pussy number. Yes, sir. Here's the watch. Here's the ice. Here's the drip. So we have the total price of $13,762. So that's a $14,000 watch on top of a $260,000 car. But in this situation, I'm rich, so it really doesn't matter. So I guess we'll add this to the documentation. I think it's so cool that you could buy a watch to go along with your Porsche 911. I'm sure other brands do that too, but pretty cool. So with that, as I look at my car that I'm never ever gonna have ever in my lifetime, I will bid you all farewell. At some point, I want to make a video talking about BMW design and my opinions on different models of BMWs and what they're doing with the design and what I like and what I don't like about different types of BMWs, since I'm more into that brand in general. But for now, this video is over. Subscribe and goodbye.